Wohin soll ich mich wenden, wenn Gram und Schmerz mich drücken?
So, we are going to take a look into Schubert and understand more about what I could call the Romantic Classicism. So it's Romantic era, but still very, very conservative, but in the sense of bringing the best of the Mozart Haydn era and kind of cleaning the sound and just leaving the essential elements. So this is why this music is also good also to understand better, to later come to Mozart again and Haydn and understand better these composers. This music is a perfect model to understand this. Okay, so the idea is that you have this in your heart, memorize it. Okay, so for this we are going to study this music as a way to absorb these elements and to make so that even when you forget everything, they are circulating in your blood in case you need. So let's take a look first how and see how it sounds. This is not an official performance, it's just for you to have an idea.
Wohin soll ich mich wenden, wenn Gram und Schmerz mich drücken? Wenn künd ich meinen Tücken, wenn freudig pocht mein Herz. Zu dir, oh Vater, komm ich in Freud und Leid dir. Du sendest ja die Freude, du heilest jeden Schmerz.
So now that you know the song or the lead, and it's really a song because it is a church song, it's a church lead here. It was a piece for the mass composed by Schubert, but it's also a lead, a song that everyone can sing. This is the idea, okay? So this is why this is a very important example to understand very, very well, because it communicates to everyone, okay? So now we can observe 5 elements or 6 that are the key stylistical aspects in this music. So let's take a look. Let's hear the first bars and see what happens. Okay, so this is absolutely obvious for us in our times, okay, but you have to have a sharper historical look to this. Simply the idea of repeating a chord in church music, it was not something simple like this, okay? You had some similar moments with Hassler, Schutz, or Praetorius, or Handel, sometimes you have some musical situations where the chord is like repeated in a more percussive way. However, here I want that you frame this in another way. I want that you understand that this reveals his awareness as a composer of music based on chords, but principally as a composer of music based on functional relationships. Okay? Some people will fight with the functions theory, but you will ask them if they have any other better theory of tonality, and what they will suggest as an alternative is a pedagogical theory of improvisation. Okay, so they are confusing things. Here Schubert shows an awareness of a very clear functional relationships. How aware he was as a music theorist, this is another issue. Okay, but from the perceptual and sonic and sensorial point of view, what we perceive here is this functional clarity, but not only a functional clarity, also a play with the functions, because you have the clarity about these functions. This means how these chords are expressing tonality. The first phrase is basically just F major. Okay, so in Baroque music, you would probably go with 10, 12 chords here. Do you understand? In a typical Baroque situation, typical Bach situation. Of course, with Vivaldi, you see some things like this. Okay. But Vivaldi was already a progressist. Vivaldi composed things that are very similar to the music that is made after him, not before him. Let's hear again. Okay. Wohin soll ich mich wenden? The second thing is... before I go to the second thing, so not only the awareness of tonality, but how tonality is related to the form parts. Okay, so this is the let's say the question answer. So the first phrase, the question phrase, let's say it's a tonic phrase. Okay, it's very clear. I just need the tonic and the dominant. I go from tonic to dominant. Yeah. We had this before, but now it looks that it's absolutely clear in his mind, and then you know what happens next. We'll talk about as a consequence of this tonal awareness. So the second thing, Hauptschluss, half cadence. Half cadence is nothing new, but specifically this type of half cadence. Okay. This type of half cadence is very typical. Okay, so we want really to understand the cliché, the model. Okay, so I guess now it's better for you to see. So we want to understand the model. This is why the thing here is not only about recognizing some things, but recognizing the importance and the hierarchic importance and function in the whole context of a musical style. So this type of half cadence is what I want you to memorize, principally people who are coming from an introduction into Baroque music and are kind of intermediary in this systematic introduction into classical music, harmony and counterpoint. Okay, so try to focus on this and practice exactly this cadence. Okay, you got the idea. Now it got a little more gallant, no? So these things are there to be used and abused. It was there to be used and abused. But a very important footnote, the difference between the cliche historical composition and the good, authentic, conservative composition is that you are always animating these models again. You are putting so in these models again and relating them to each other, not in an original way, I would say, but in an authentic way. It comes from you, autos. The difference is a very fine difference, but a huge qualitative jump. Okay, it's another substance. It's another conception of the word. Okay, so this is not hard to imitate, but to relate things to each other using these elements in a beautiful way, it will require your authenticity. Only with your authenticity this will work. It depends on your relation to music and how you make these models your thing. Okay, very important footnote. So the second, the third element that is very important, we see right in the answer to this question. Okay, so the musical question here. Okay, this is absolutely beautiful and simple. We had this in Bach, but the aware placement of these elements in a very strategic and clean and simple way make the sound classicistically romantic. When I mean classicism, I mean really the spirit of Apollo. Everything is clean, well proportionated, well behaved, simple, based on reason and on self-control. Okay, so let's observe now what is going here. So common, before we had this type of harmony, a more common solution is that we answer with another phrase in the tonic, or with another phrase starting the dominant, or starting the subdominant, or starting the tonic. This is common. But that he starts with the accent in the dominant of the subdominant parallel, or the relative of the subdominant. This is a more fine approach, and this type of regional modulations to a minor key that is very close to the main key. So this means the relative parallel, the second degree, or the tonic relative. This means the sixth degree, or tonic parallel. Going to these keys will give a very specific touch that is the key for this type of music, and they come many times. I could also mention an example of Mendelssohn here, or other people. They do this a lot. So this is why this music is a very important model to understand and to memorize. So the first part, if you want to call this a short antecedent, it is a short antecedent. So it is from tonic to dominant. The second one is from the subdominant parallel or relative to the tonic. Okay. Now we have the answer to this first thematic exposition, but it's also thematic. If this were a symphony, this other part would be also the periodic consequent to everything that we have here played in this first page. Okay, so depending on your perspective, you will consider the small period in English. Period is too similar to German. You will consider the small or the big one. This question I will leave for another video, for you don't get confused regarding when it is a question of ambiguity regarding the definition of period, and when it is just the wrong way of analyzing. Okay. Here I would speak about periodic construction in micro and macro, what often happens. So you can speak about antecedent and consequent also in the macro perspective. And then we start here now the consequent, if you observe from this point of view. So this means here now in this forte, consider that the first small period was just repeated. Okay, so important that this forte now, this whole section that comes now, it's related to the start so much as this answer is related to this, and as this repetition is related to this. Okay, we will still talk about this again, but important to perceive how everything is periodic. Okay, so 2, 4 4, they answer each other, they complement each other. This is the most important thought to have here. So now when he starts this big answer, let's say this macro consequent, this F, this forte moment, let's see what happens. I will play from the end of this part here. Okay, so let's see the repetition. Okay, the repetition of the theme. Then now this is also not by mistake, but not arbitrary. Let's say this first part of the theme, this first exposition was very tonic, was based on tonic, and you didn't hear the subdominant. Now the answer to this is a subdominant form. You start with the tonic, I understand, but the chord that is highlighted here, the important chord, is the subdominant. Okay, so this plugao progression is the important thing here, and this is not arbitrary. What he does is to bring exactly the function that is complementary to what happened before. Okay, we had a session tonic form principally, and now we bring the subdominant as a tonal complement to this. Okay, and exactly as we have tonic, subdominant, and dominant as the main scheme for the tonal cadence, he does this also in the category of the form, of the musical form. So one part tonic, second part subdominant. These are incredibly important. Now let's see how he goes. So then he does the cadence. So the subdominant signal, let's say, is the signal to the start for the cadence. Okay, so this is why this part of the form highlights the subdominant. So this part has the function of introducing the end of this whole section. In this case, this is the whole music. Okay, very beautiful. So actually, I'm speaking about more elements already than what was planned, but he's the core element, the core thought of what I would call the tonal rhetoric. So he's explaining tonality. Okay, and this I explained in another video that I didn't upload now. So let's go to another part here, for the video is not so long for the impatient people. So now a very, very interesting thing that is happening in the whole music, and it's also a key element to this style. And if you are aware of this when you're improvising or composing, it will give exactly this touch that you are needing. So the music, so it starts in the position of third. Okay, this is not by chance, this is a preference. So the preference for the sonorities of the third, or even doubling the third. Let me show you an example of Mendelssohn. So I didn't find exactly the example that I wanted, but this one might be enough. So here he started already with an incomplete chord, okay? And the type of writing that will highlight this preference for thirds was already given by the people of the galant style. So all these guys between Mozart and Bach, between Haydn and Bach. So we had many times the third, the three-part harmony. Okay, so you start already in the classes to have this preference for the sonority of thirds. But in this romantic neoclassicism, you keep this and you mix this with the other more specific romantic elements. Okay, see, for example, here you see Mendelssohn again. You see how important is this incomplete chords highlighting the sonority of the third. And so on. Here's not perfect example because of the D. Here, for example, this is a type of use of thirds that is specifically more romantic. Okay. And if you do like with flutes and oboes and violins, really doubling the third, it will give this very specific German romantic sound of Brahms. Okay, this organ sound where you just manage the doubling of resonance. So the use of chords in the position of third is let's say it is another expression of this preference for the sonority of thirds in general. Okay, so let's come back to Schubert. So I had to stop because of the noise in the street. Let me show another example before I go to Mozart, to Schubert again. Here you see still the type of writing that was common to galant period, even Baroque music. But the idea here is again to use the three-part harmony to highlight the sonority of thirds. It starts like this, again the third, and so on. And I find fascinating to understand the stylistical difference, because sometimes you look at the score and it looks like the three-part symphony of Bach, but not exactly. So he keeps this fault many times in this piece. For example, this is aus dem Oratorium Paulus. So many examples of this. So why I'm talking about this, because when you're starting to understand this music, and specifically this style, it's very important to have clear in mind which are the tools that you have to use, that you have them in your pocket, principally for liturgic improvisation, but also, as I do here, for competent soundtrack composing. So let's go to Schubert finally. So back to Schubert, a very clear sign that the stairs are really loved is the orchestration. Again, not only what I said for Brahms is true, but for this music is true. You see the divisi in thirds highlighting this preference for this type of sound, okay? And it goes on and on, always when possible. Okay, so an orchestration tip here. But I don't want to talk about orchestration now. I can do another video to observe exactly the same music from the point of view of orchestration. By the way, a very good introduction to arranging as well. So the melody is harmonized basically by thirds, sopran and alt. Okay, very important technique to remember. It makes your life easier. So this is not something totally new, but what is important to understand is the position of third. Okay, not only thirds, but the position of third. So he starts in the position of third, and then ends again in the position of third. No, not ends, but yes, he ends in the position of third. Okay, this is the detail that I wanted to highlight more, that is more forgotten. The thirds, everyone goes somehow intuitively to the thirds, okay? Although not strategically and stylistically aware, as I am pointing here when I give the example of orchestration. But the position of third is a nuance that is very important to remember. It's easy to forget. Okay, then he repeats. Then second part. Again, position of third. Okay. Da, di, da. The resolution of this chord is on the position of third. Thirds again. Position of a fifth. So Then perfect. Cadence. Okay, so you got the idea of the role of thirds in this type of music. Fantastic here is this. Let's hear again. Now we are on the fifth element of the style that I would like to point out in this music. So
Freuden, du heilest jeden Schmerz.
perceive well. Subdominant.
Freuden,
Then
du heilest.
so this is absolutely fantastic. The altered chord, the F major here, with the minor 7. If you observe this in an isolated way, it's not something absolutely new or special. But this shows many interesting things about what I said at the beginning. So regarding tonal rhetoric and functional awareness. The subdominant is so clear stated, and the tonic, that he can mix these functions with each other. Okay, but we are not talking about bitonality or something like this. Okay, so they are so clear that he can like make a little game with this, because the bass will still make it clear what is this part about. It's about a cadence. We heard this cadence many times, and now we can play with this cadence, and he's showing this awareness here in this way. Okay, so the tonic is altered. Altering the chord of tonic. And now it is a subdominant chord with the suspension of fourth and the major ninth. Okay, so this altered tonic, you could perceive this chord actually more as a preparation of the suspended fourth. Okay, so like in this case, if I am able here to explain the genealogy of this chord. So because you are able to do this, now you can do something like this. You can play with the tonic as it were a dominant chord. So the easiest way to think about this is that after you have a clear tonic, a clear subdominant, a clear dominant, then you can create interesting alterations with these chords. And the most common here from the historical and genealogic point of view, one of the most common is that you just build a dominant chord over these functions. Okay, so a dominant chord thought from the point of view of morphology. So only the chord type because the function is actually not dominant, okay? It's a secondary dominant if you want. So absolutely amazing. So simplicity, but in every bar there is a precise music theoretical fault, a precise compositional fault. And this precision make it beautiful. You can also interpret in the other way, because it is beautiful and it sounds like this. It matches a compositional and music theoretical clarity that is there potentially for we can think about it and conceive it with concepts. This is the so-called fog that Schopenhauer and Schoenberg mentioned it, that Schoenberg mentioned it quoting Schopenhauer, and that is on my community tab, the quote, for you can see. So still a footnote about the altered tonic. I say that this happens because he wants the fourth, the suspension of fourth, okay? And why does he want this suspension? Because of course the tritonus is not interesting. Okay, so it would be very harsh, this sound here. So this sound is absolutely harsh, and this sound is not so harsh. It's way sweeter. See what the difference? Because of the tritonus. So to avoid the tritonus, we have this altered note, and if you anticipate this altered note, you have your dominant 7th chord, morphologically, not functionally. Functionally, it is a secondary dominant. It's not the main dominant. So now the very simple thing that is still missing, and this is our 6th or 7th element, so 6th, I don't know. Very simple thing to end is the unprepared dominant 7th chord. Okay, let's hear again. Done. So the dominant 7th chord, this type of chord, begins to be beloved in this era in an unprepared way. You just go to this chord. So So they start to see for the first time the tetrad, very important. And then later Wagner makes the discovery of tetradic music, let's say like this. So we are not more in this world of the triad and the extensions and the tones that will give color or that will disturb the triad. We start seeing the possibility of the tetrad as an autonomous thing. Not so much yet, but it starts to happen. This starts to be the central element of the style. Maybe you find this even in Bach, but it's not a central element of the style. In Bach would be more central, that you have still the importance of the dissonance as an accident to the triad. So the triad is the substance, the dissonance is the accident. Okay, so you have okay. Even if you find unprepared chords in Bach, and you find many, the difference here is the use of this type of chord more frequently in the cadence, or right in the start of pieces of music. Okay, it's not exactly the example here. You don't see this in the start, or yes, you don't see this in the start. But when you start like this, now for example, I'm provided this now. So this type of start. So that right in the start, that you use a dominant seventh chord. This started being important for Haydn and Mozart. And here, this is let's say the Schubert as a romantic conservative. He I think he makes this dominant seventh chord his own chord, in the sense of symbolizing this classicist tradition. Okay, so the dominant seventh chord is understood as the let's say the only thing you need for the cadence. Okay, it's like you wash it many things away, and you go directly into the dominant seventh chord. You realize that this chord has more power, and from there you start experimenting more with this chord, and this is what happens with other composers like Liszt, or even Scriabin. So they start to do all sort of trickery with dominant seventh chords and the extensions that these chords allow. So important is to understand that all this together makes a very important stylistical model, and and that all these elements, they are there in other styles, of course. Or many of them. We spoke about very different things, but these elements, you will find probably in Bach or later, whatever. Okay, so what makes the style is how you let me show myself, is how you focus on them with a clear mind, and you relate them to each other, if possible, in an authentic way. So the exercise for this would be like this. You write this down, everything that I said, and without distraction to many other aspects like texture or how beautiful is the music, you improvise, focusing only on these elements systematically, and then you bring them together. Okay, so you improvise only the third, okay, then only the half cadence, okay, and you just observe if it's correct or incorrect, and from there you start making it more beautiful if you can. Then after you have this element, so you bring them together and you do like an imitation, an allegory of exactly of this music. It's a beautiful music. So you do something like correct, not perfect, not so beautiful, it's correct. Not so good, better, with the dominant seventh. Good. I used this chord that I learned, and then I ended the third. The third position, and so on. So you try to bring all these elements together, let's say so fast as possible, in some 8 bars or 16 bars. Then if you do this correctly, you send this to me and you get 2 free lessons with me. Okay, not the free, not the consultation. The consultation I am charging $25 if you send me the password from YouTube as a promotion. But after this, you get two free lessons, and later we see how it goes. So last thing to say is, I would appreciate if you remember to give a like and subscribe, because I'm doing this for free for you, and it takes some time to prepare, sometimes not to prepare, but to edit, or there is always something. So this would help the channel if you want to see more content like this on YouTube. So please give a like and subscribe. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope this has some use for you. Ciao, ciao.